Hi, it's Nico Perez, and today you will be listening to the very first segment of the Troupe. Today we are going to have guests Tony and Eve, and hopefully you enjoy this segment.
Aloha, I'm Eve. And what else do I say?
Just
No,
introduce
Nico.
yourself.
Nico hates us already.
He already made it. So,
What is, what is?
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about segregation. I chose this topic because I think a week or two ago I was like obsessed with watching 60 Days In. So I noticed in the show that in jail they heavily segregate themselves, and it's like it's not even a thing that was enforced by the cops or anything. It was something they chose to do. So what are y'all opinions on that? Thoughts?
um, wait, is this the show that you sent me videos of?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, my first question is why would you choose to segregate yourself from another group? Unless, well, you're on a power trip.
Maybe it's some of them might have a thing with like comfort.
Yeah, I think it's a
people who
comfort thing.
Maybe like them and making circles.
Like, for example, the kinfolk are the black people, woods are whites, and then Chicanos are Hispanics. So I've noticed that like it's a choice thing. So you don't have to be in the group. But then again, if you don't associate with your race, then that's basically gonna put a target on your back, and basically your race is gonna like want to fight you and get you killed simply because you're not sticking with them.
Yeah.
I mean, from the perspective of the Chicanos, right? And the and black people, I can kind of understand because of the history of black people's relationship with white people and Chicanos' relationship with white people over time in history. There's still going to be a rift and like, I don't want to call it bitterness, but there's going to be a certain pain that's still there. So I can understand that if you stop associating yourself with your race, I can see how that translates to, oh, so you're with the white people now, or, something like that, despite all the history that happened. And then with white people, I mean, they already have like a how do you pronounce it?
I know what
They
you're
already
trying to
have,
say, but I also don't know the word.
Superiority complex.
Yeah, superiority complex.
It's
So,
also crazy.
That one's obvious.
It's weird because they make it out to be this like 3 different pathway thing, but like there's so many dark-skinned Hispanics and so many light-skinned black people, and like it's just weird because it's like, I know for me myself, I'm Dominican and that counts as black, but then again it's also Hispanic, so it's like, what group would I be in?
To be honest with you, I don't think biracial people of any group have really been able to figure that out.
Like, and
Because
then
of that whole segregation thing you talked about.
and then it was also an issue with the older people, because I also saw that the younger people who were in the jail, they would hear the rules and they would be like, why do I have to follow this? Like, I'm not gonna look at my white friend any different way simply because he's white. Like, I'm comfortable talking with white people and I'm comfortable talking with the Chicano, so what's the problem? And usually the older people will respond by violence and like jumping them into the group so that they have no other choice but to be loyal to their race.
Yeah, what you're talking about in the jails, like I see that reflected a lot everyday life too. Which I mean, I guess that goes with almost jail in the system. How that's it basically just reflects real life, but in a small, more extreme setting.
That's true. That's true.
Because I've heard of like the kind of situation you're talking about. Instead of the older people resorting to violence, but they say like, nah, you can't be friends with Hispanic because Hispanics don't like us, or you can't be friends with Asians because Asians don't like us, or white people because they don't like us. I've heard that same exact thing, and it's just like, okay, but my friend Gloria here, I don't think she doesn't like me. We talk a lot, but.
And it's so crazy too, because I didn't see any Asian people or anybody who was different from those three races. So it's like, why are they only separating these three?
I do remember this thing, that this news report, I believe, that was like maybe 8 months ago, about this cop who retired from being a cop, but he worked down in the subways, right? And they told him that you grab all the black people and Hispanic people, and you leave the Asian and white ones alone. So he was basically told that you brutalize these people over here, but you leave the lighter ones alone. And it just, everything is so connected when it comes to police and the jail system, and who they tell to go get and everything, and why there's I'm not saying Asian people aren't in prison and jail and like that, but the mass majority that they show on TV, like when they have Scared Straight, I can't tell you how many times I've seen a Asian inmate, or like an Indian inmate or something like that. It's all just three colors, really. And it just circles around segregation and who they deem more violent, I guess.
Which is so strange, because when you look back at like Asian immigrants back in history, they used to be perceived as like sexual abusers and shit like that, and now times have changed so much to the point where like now it just like it's the opposite as how they're perceived. And it's crazy how racism changes depending on how a certain group wants to perceive another one. And that's definitely reflected in the jail system as well. So I think that's also another reason why black people and Chicanos and white people, like all those three groups, just stick to each other instead of mixing together because of that history. And then also because of POC don't like each other. So probably that.
Oh fucking god.
So we're recording again.
So I don't know if you guys will continue the topic. We were just talking about it.
I mean, if you have another topic, we could talk about it.
Yes. I've been avoiding the news lately, so I don't really know what's been going on.
Felt that.
I've been avoiding the news, but like to give you a rundown, I still read
Headlines?
Yeah. To give you a rundown, coronavirus.
Yeah.
Nothing new. Absolutely nothing new.
I don't think there's been one news thing where coronavirus hasn't been at least somewhere on some part of the news.
Coronavirus and Trump trying to stay in. He's trying everything not to get out. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I don't know why. Like, my man's Biden already won. Biden already won. I don't know why he's still going.
I know. It's over.
And they even recounted it.
Even red states are denying him. They're like, we can't do nothing.
They even recounted it for him. He still won. Like, how they recount it for you? Never mind.
And then he fucking put, I don't like this nigga, but can I say that?
Yes.
Okay, I don't like him, but what is his name? Brian Kemp. And then Trump threw Brian Kemp under the bus, who's Republican, who rooted for Trump. After Kemp said, like, he was like, yo, we can't recount him 4 times. Biden won. And it was just like, bruh, he's so bitter.
You know what's so crazy?
I've never seen this happen in my 22 years of living here. Okay.
There's a lot of freshmen in my old high school who, well, they're sophomores now, but they're Republicans, and I just look at their Instagram posts like, you are a Hispanic minority, and you're a Republican? They're over here talking about, I'm gonna move out the country since Biden won. What?
Where are you gonna go? What? You can't go anywhere in the first place. You know why? Because coronavirus. Even if you wanted to leave, you can't go. Matter of fact, our passports now don't mean anything.
No. Not unless you're going on business or something like that.
It makes me feel better that I don't have one.
I don't have one either.
I have, well, I do have a passport. Mine is on expired and stuff, so. I wonder how travel will change after this.
They'll probably be more safer about it.
After 9/11, it does. But I remember how after 9/11, they're like, but like, oh no, this gonna be a different level.
Low key, masks are a look. I like masks.
Yeah, I'm never going back to not wearing a mask. I already
To be
decided
honest
that.
with you, I don't mind masks. Like, I feel like after this, there's gonna be some days I wear masks, and then some days I don't. Like, I don't really mind them.
Honestly, I also find it so dumb when people are like, well, some people can't wear masks. Okay, so those people shouldn't go outside.
Exactly.
Like, it makes absolutely no sense. Don't go outside, Karen.
Democrats did it. Democrats get this. Democrats get that.
Keeping you safe?
What are you talking about? Telling you to wear a mask and cover your nose and wash your hands? Y'all are weird.
And
so
it's so
weird.
funny because they're always just like, Corona is fake, Corona is fake. Then they get Corona
Seriously.
and now they want to cry. Get on that ventilator. Go to your ventilator.
Go to your ventilator.
Because what? Now you over here crying because you sick. Crying because you can't go get a haircut. Learn how to cut your own hair.
Breathe.
Mm-hmm.
God. All because you wanted a fucking... Oh my God.
And then it's like white people can
ridiculous.
protest about the stupidest things, but once a black person protests about their life, all of a sudden it's disrespectful.
And what's even crazier is the fact that they say there's other ways to get your point across. Okay, guess what? We kneeled.
We did those ways.
We silently protest. We did all this. We did all the other alternatives there are to violence. And y'all didn't listen. Because you don't care and you just don't want to admit that. You don't care about Black lives.
And then they love
You're
bringing up
independent
Malcolm
people.
X as if he didn't get killed.
I know.
He got killed too, Karen.
God. It's so ridiculous. They love it. And I heard one say that, like, Martin Luther King was such a support.
No, he
Like,
wouldn't.
What the?
First of all, Martin Luther King isn't even valid. He cheated on his wife with a white woman. I don't want to hear you bring him up again.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
part of
another
y'all.
thing. Dear Black community, please recognize that Martin Luther King was not, like, our God. He's not God, okay?
Not only that, but people, like, what they don't realize is that nearing the time of his death, first of all, he was becoming, like, his whole peaceful protest rhetoric, he was starting to, like, go more towards the violent side. It was Malcolm X that started going toward the peaceful side. So they started swapping the ideology, actually. Then he died, so...